Hello class, my name is Kathleen Buzi, and this is my recording for the mid for my that's the recording for my midterm video for CIS 3267 by Professor Adrian Wheeler. The topic that I chose was the impact of COVID-19 in the entertainment industry. My focus was mainly on unemployment and with loss of revenue. But I was in for a shock of my life. I was thinking that the entertainment industry is just like movie and music. But I come to realize it's so much bigger than that. Even with that, I could not find like a large file of data enough to compass all of the category because they're divided into subcategory. So I ended up choosing three of the subcategory, which was movie theater, amusement park, and the sport event. Um, what I did was the data that I found didn't have all the was not as clean as I would love it to just encompass my focus on unemployment and loss of revenue. So what I did was I collected some data and cleaned it out to get exactly what I want. But this is a data that I collected from the Labor First from Statista. So it covered the unemployment rate for the unemployment rate for the last 10 years from 2011 to 2021. So I created a couple of chart with it. The first chart focused on the last 10 years unemployment rate. Mostly this is done by month, so I leave it. He has 10 years in each month. Each month show 10 years of unemployment. So, and I also focus mainly on the unemployment for 2020. As you could see, the 2020, the April of 2020, the the unemployment rate quadruple from 3.5 at the beginning of the year to 14.8. That's three that's four time and then some increase from the beginning of the year for from January to March. And as you could see, it did not really went down that by December. It just went down by half. In from the original data, you can clearly see it hasn't gone down that much by 2021 either. So it's still a little bit high in 2021. The other thing, the industry that I chose to cover were this graph originally was for the whole of for the whole population. I feel like it was for the whole population, but the industry that I chose were movie theater in the US. So I had collected a large file, but I that had encompassed many years from 2003 to all the way to 2027. So I cut out all the extra data that I didn't need and just keep on the revenue and the unemployment. The employment, since I couldn't get unemployment, it's just employment. I took the employment amount rate they give me. So from 2010 to 2020, you could see that the revenue in 2020 for the movie industry went down by 60.5%, and the employment rate went down by negative 56.9. And so I created a column chart to show that. And I also did unemployment, but I did a line chart to show the unemployment went down for 2020. No, as that is the last 10 years. The last 10 years employment rate from the movie theater, and you clearly see that it's went down drastically in 2020, but it became 56.8 87 negative. And combined I created a chart with both revenue and unemployment percentage. As you could see that 2020 was the worst year. It was both went down the reverse side, and they both number were negative for those for this year. And so I combined all of my chart in the dashboard. Because the data was not straightforward as I would love it, I couldn't create slides and stuff like that in my chart. So I just created chart for I combine all of my chart on the dashboard to show what I created by for this specific subcategory. And I did the same thing for amusement park. So here's the original data for amusement. This is the data. After I my data, this is what I come up with for amusement park. So as you could see, 2020 revenue was negative 62.1 for the amusement park, and it was the employment went down to negative 41.4 for the amusement park. And here's my dashboard of all the chart that I created for the amusement park. So you got the 2020 data for revenue and employment, and this is the revenue for the amusement park, and this is the employment, and this is both revenue and revenue and employment for 2020 for the last 10 years up actually from 2010 to 2020. And last list I had done for the athletic event industry. um the the data that I come down after acting my data, this is what I come down with. The revenue was negative 28.7, and the employment was negative 25.25%. It went down to negative 25%. So I created a chart that combined both for the last 10 years for both revenue and employment. You could see that 2020 went down from it got from positive from 2019 to negative 38 in 25 in 2020. And this is the dashboard that I created for the four graph that I created for that subcategory, which was athletic event organizer industry for 2020. I hope you guys enjoy my video.